Hi everyone. Today I'm going to talk about how we need to have encounters with the Lord so that we shine out His glory for all to see, and so we can share about who He is and walk in the plan He has for us. I want to talk about an ordinary woman with a checkered past who had a special encounter with Jesus. We find her in John chapter 4. Jesus was travelling through Samaria and met a Samaritan woman by the well. Jesus and the woman had a long conversation, and He revealed many things to her, both about her and Himself. He told her that she was not living the way she should be, and in response to her questions about the Jews and the Samaritans, He revealed that He was the Messiah. As a result of this encounter, her life was radically changed, and she believed in Jesus as the Messiah. In John 4:28-30 and 39-41, it reads, "Then leaving her water jar, the woman went back to the town and said to the people, 'Come, see a man who told me everything I ever did. Could this be the Christ?' They came out of the town and made their way toward Him. Many of the Samaritans from that town believed in Him because of the woman's testimony. 'He told me everything I ever did.' So when the Samaritans came to Him, they urged Him to stay with them. And He stayed 2 days. And because of His words, many more became believers." When did the Samaritan woman go out and talk to the people? After getting a theology degree? After completing an evangelism course? No. She went so quickly, she left behind her water jar. So often we try to make ourselves ready or perfect before we feel able to serve in ministry. We worry that God can't use us because of our past, all the things we've done wrong, or because maybe we don't know enough. But we will never be perfect on this earth, and so we waste valuable time trying to achieve the impossible. Remember, Jesus will equip you for the task He's asked you to do. The Samaritan woman spoke to many people, introducing them to Jesus. They could see a change in her. They could see something different about her from before. They could see something of Jesus, which meant they listened to her and went to find Jesus for themselves. When He spoke to them, even more became believers. Like the Samaritan woman, we just need to make the introductions and pass out the invitation to come to Jesus. We don't need to use flowery language. God just wants us to share from the heart and tell of all the things He's done for us. He wants us to radiate His glory and shine for Him. How can we do that? Let's have a look. Let's read from Exodus 34:29-35. When Moses came down from Mount Sinai with the 2 tablets of the covenant law in his hands, he was not aware that his face was radiant because he'd spoken with the Lord. When Aaron and all the Israelites saw Moses, his face was radiant, and they were afraid to come near him. But Moses called to them. So Aaron and all the leaders of the community came back to him, and he spoke to them. Afterward, all the Israelites came near him, and he gave them all the commands the Lord had given him on Mount Sinai. When Moses finished speaking to them, he put a veil over his face, but whenever he entered the Lord's presence to speak with him, he removed the veil until he came out. And when he came out and told the Israelites what he'd been commanded, they saw that his face was radiant. Then Moses would put the veil back over his face until he went in to speak with the Lord. In the Amplified Version, it says that his skin was shining with a unique radiance. His face always shone after he spent time with the Lord, not just after the time he spent on the mountain. What do you think it was that made Moses' face so shining and radiant? It was the effect of his sight of God, his communion with God, his time spent with God. If we want to shine with God's beauty, we have to spend time with Him, both reading His Word and in prayer. It might be challenging for you at the moment, as your house may be full and you don't feel you have a moment's quiet. But you can meet with God anywhere, in the shower, on a walk, in the car. Any of you got any secret hiding places? The key is to make sure at some point in your time with Him, you are still in His presence, quiet, listening to what He is saying to you. If we don't spend time with Him, we start running on empty, and we're not useful to anyone. Moses regularly spent time with God so that he could minister to the Israelites. I want to encourage you today to make sure you meet with Jesus daily so that you can serve him in your family, in your community, in your workplace, and in the church. Be the shining light. Be the radiance. Be the difference. I'd like to finish with a blessing from Numbers 6, verses 24 to 26. May the Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face to shine upon you and be gracious to you. The Lord turn his face toward you and give you peace. Amen.